Good morning, fellow travelers. It's Tuesday, July 26, 2022. We are on our way to Grand Cayman today. Today is our sea day, so we'll be attending shows around the ship, maybe get some pool time, and have some cruise fun. We'll talk to you later.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My boss, Mark, told me not to start until 1 o'clock. I'm sorry, 10 o'clock, because he wanted to be here to introduce me, but he got called out. He said, if I'm not there at 10 o'clock, you can go ahead and start without me. If you haven't met him, Mark, he's my boss. He's 28 years old today. And if he walks in, we're going to have just a pause for me to kiss up a little bit to my management. And we can pause and wish him a happy birthday. But I think I have his permission to go ahead and start. So space is amazing. I'm looking forward to sharing with you some aspects of it. I have a special treat sitting in the audience that 15 years ago, I retired from the John F. Kennedy Space Center. Had the privilege of working with a young man named Scott Higginbotham, who is one of our fellow guests in today, and he's here. Scott worked on the launch services program, his last assignment. Scott, that's for you. And I will be bringing to you his former boss at the very end today, just coincidentally. But anyway, thank you for being here. It is an honor for me to be asked to talk about my favorite subject, space exploration and leadership, two of my favorites. But to have you here means a lot to me. I hope to make it worth your while, because I'm going to ask you right now to stay for 2 hours if you can. I've never done 2 hours in a row, but because we only have 2 sea days, Mark suggested, why don't we try back to back on the first day? So I'll be here at 10 o'clock now, and I'll finish this one at 10:45. We'll have a pregame video from 10:45 to 11. At 11 o'clock, I'll show you a totally different presentation called Stories of Space Exploration. Happens to be my favorite thing to talk about. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. 50 years of space exploration, imagine the next 50. I'll tell you why I call it 50, because if you're astute, you might realize it's been more like 65 years that we've been going to space. Why do I call it 50? I'll tell you momentarily. We're going to launch a few rockets today. I'm going to ask my sound guys to turn up the volume when we do. We'll talk about a few astronauts, and we will do it all aboard the beautiful Equinox, which I am proud to be back. Now, why did I call it 50 years? This slide was actually used 15 years ago in October of '07 when I was asked to tour with the Mannheim Steamroller Band. A privilege of my lifetime. In fact, I'll tell you more about this in just a moment. But I used the same presentation charts that, of course, 99% of them have changed, but I used at least the cover sheet to that presentation, because indirectly it's what brought me to you today, except I didn't have the Equinox sailing in, of course, when I was part of the Mannheim Steamroller Band. But speaking of the band, there's a picture of me, a picture of Chip Davis, who is the owner, drummer, and composer of Mannheim Steamroller. I met Chip through a reason that probably doesn't really matter, but this is one of the concerts where they were presenting the Music of the Spheres concert. I happen to have a CD of the Music of the Spheres concert, a collector's item. Chip gives me enough to where I divvy out one per cruise. So if you are interested in walking home with this, all you have to do is give me your name on a piece of paper. It really ought to be before noon today, because I might not see you again until the last sea day, and by then we will have drawn the name. So if you'd like to carry this home, just give me your name on a piece of paper, and you might carry it home. So there you go, name on a piece of paper. With that, let's get on into the presentation. I'm going to start with one of my favorite astronauts. In fact, later today in the second presentation, I'll tell you my favorite of 52 stories I could tell you about. I'm going to pick the first one to be of Sonny Williams. I'll tell you more about that later. But there's a picture of Sonny. I don't Photoshop. These are real pictures. Of course, that would be fine. Take a picture, stay in touch. And with that, I am going to change my computer to pick up the videos for the next presentation. Thank you. The stories you're about to see are real stories, and they reflect a lifetime of passion that I have for space exploration, coupled with a 36-year career with the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. The last 4 years of my NASA career were spent right here
where I was privileged to serve as the director of the John F. Kennedy Space Center here in Florida. You might be interested to know that I'm standing here at the Kennedy Space Center, perched atop an office building known as the OSB-2. This building was constructed in 2005, and the balcony I'm standing on was designed specifically to allow visiting dignitaries an opportunity for some optimal views of launches. At the end of this DVD, I would like to share some of these sites with you. But for now, let's focus on the iconic building behind me, the Vehicle Assembly Building, or VAB. This building, constructed in 1965, was used for assembly and test of the Apollo Saturn V vehicles, followed by the Space Shuttle vehicles, and will soon be used to assemble and test the next generation of human space vehicles as well. So you can see why this is such an iconic and historically significant building. It holds a special place in my heart, and I shall cherish the memories of this place for the rest of my life.
I will show you the trick, then I will show you how we do it, and then we'll move on to another trick, okay? Now, here are the rules to being a magician. The first thing is you should never tell anybody how you did the trick. That's why I'm not a magician, all right? If Denny finds out that I'm here, I'm a magician on board, I'll be in real big trouble. So that's the first thing you do. You never tell anyone how you did the trick. Although you think it might be interesting to somebody else, actually, when you tell them the trick, it loses a little. So actually, it's better to keep that trick going. Now, the next thing is always practice the trick before you do it your first time in front of somebody else. Because if you mess it up halfway through, you've sort of ruined that whole trick. The third thing is, excuse me, I'm getting emotional, never repeat the same trick. Never repeat the same trick, because there's always a chance they're going to be able to the second time. They know what they're expecting and they're looking to see how you did it. So the first thing you do is you're just going to tear these cards in half, and because these cards are quite difficult to turn, we go through this process. You may find you don't need to, but if you use very thin paper, you'll be able to see through the cards, and that will sort of ruin the effect at the end. So the first part of this trick is simply the process of tearing these cards in half. So now here we have it. There's two cards, with two piles of cards. The first choice I ask you to make is to put one pack on side the other. You can make that choice. Now at this point, it doesn't matter which way you go, it all is the same. It's basically a stack of cards going 4 cards down. Don't worry, I have a cheat sheet for you, you don't have to remember this. Now what we know on the bottom here is the card we picked, because it was on the bottom where we had it face up, it's now on the bottom. It's, in this case, it's the 2 of clubs. But we also know, if you remember, if you work it out, the 2 of clubs is also the 4th card down from the top.
That's right.
Okay, so we know where both of those cards are. All we need to do at this point is get rid of the top 3 cards. So we have the 2 of clubs on the top and the bottom. So what I do, when you exchange the card, it meant nothing. You still had the same amount of cards. It was just to keep you occupied for a bit. And then I ask you to take 2 cards and pop them in the middle, a little bit more than halfway down. That's so we don't go over the top of the 2 of clubs. Take another card, put it in the top, and now in the middle, sorry. And now we should have the 2 of clubs on the top and the bottom of your deck. Okay? The bottom card is going to be the card we're left with. This is now going to be the card you save. So you take that card and you put it away somewhere safe. And that is basically your job done. Now you're just following a routine. So it's 1 card to the bottom, get rid of one card. Now it's quite nice to throw them away, but remember somebody has to pick these cards up. 1 card to the bottom, throw 1 away. 1 card to the bottom, throw 1 away. And you just keep going through this process until you've got to 1 card. 1 card to the bottom, 1 away. 1 card to the bottom, 1 away. And then you get those 2 cards together, and they are the same card. All right, the 2 of clubs. Well done, congratulations you. You are 1 step towards being a master magician.
Clever. Very, very clever.
Now that kind of, don't answer any questions, so I'm going to ask you, imagine you're calling them on the telephone. You're calling them on the telephone, they're there. And they say, hello, who is it? And you said, hi, Anna? Is it Anna? Did you go Anna? Is that so? Anna? Yes? All right. Jack, you have Yes, Jack, you have the ace of diamonds. And the 2 of diamonds, and the 3 of diamonds, and the 4 of diamonds. Kevin, you have the 5 of diamonds. Jack, you have the 6 and 7. Kevin, you have the 8 and 9 and 10. Jack, you have the Jack.
Jack,
Jack.
Oh, last couple. Kevin, you have the Queen.
I do.
And the King.
I do.
And a Joker.
I do.
Yes! Thank you very much. Well done. Take a sit down there. All right. Here you go, silly. You can keep this.
Just give her the
Wow.
quarters.
All right. So there was a trick. Big trick.
Wow. Good one. You even got the Joker. How do you know I would put the Joker in the back?
Hey, well, there we are. Let's find out.
He's a magician.
Another simple trick that anybody can do. Okay? It's all about presentation. There's no actual magic there, of course. And no, not even any memory. I didn't have to remember anything. I'm going to show you how to do it. So it's actually 2 tricks in one, that one. And the reason I'm doing 2 tricks in one, I'll explain to you. One of the reasons is because there's a moment in this trick where the 2 people who are helping you have to reset the cards, and that takes a little while to do. So you've got some downtime. So you have a choice at that point. You can either tell a story, you could tell some jokes, you could do something different. I put this other routine in just to, it has nothing to do. The 2 tricks are completely independent. And so the blindfold is completely unnecessary. However, it gives you another 3 or 4 minutes to play with and takes the pressure off Kevin and Jack, who are getting their cards ready. And then you have a reveal, and that's basically all it is. So first of all, let's do the cards. So I open a normal deck of cards. I've never seen a normal deck of cards. And I take out the Joker. I'm going to need the Joker in a moment. Okay, I'm going to go through these cards, and I'll show you exactly how I set them up. So these cards were set up before I came out. So first of all, I'm going to look for the clubs. And again, this is all set up in your cheat sheet. I'm going to make 2 piles of cards.
We're only here once. I wanna live with you. my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you
face to face with all our fears, learned our lessons through the tears, made memories we knew would never fade. One day my father, he told me, son, don't let it slip away. When I was just a kid, I heard him say, when you get older, your wild heart will live for younger days. Think of me whenever you're afraid. He said one day you'll leave this world behind, so live a life you will remember. My father told me when I was just a child, these are the nights that never die. My father told me. All right, son, you can do better than that.
take her home. I drive all night to keep her warm, and time is frozen. It's frozen.
audience we've had tonight. Thank you very, very much for bringing your energy and having a lot of fun. That's just what we need. Did you enjoy that show? Incredible. So many great shows still left to come for you. Now, tonight we have Battle of the DJs, Silent Disco, 10 p.m. tonight, the power hour of Silent Discos. Come down and enjoy. We have live DJs on each other. We're going to have the red channel is going to be the 60s and 70s. We're going to have the blue channel will be all the modern music, all the boom, 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 and no melody. And I will be on the green channel, which is doing the 80s and 90s, all the best party music. I'm not biased, I'm just giving you how it is. Now tomorrow we arrive 7 o'clock in Grand Cayman. We're 10 drinks, a very simple process. When you're ready to go ashore, if you're not on a shore excursion, just come on down to the Martini Bar, get your tickets and go straight out. If you are on a shore excursion, follow the details on your tickets. 3:15 is the last tender back to the ship tomorrow afternoon. Please don't miss it. Be back here tomorrow night. We've got the comedy and magic of Denny Corby will be here tomorrow night. Another fantastic show, 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock. We'll see you back then. Have a great night, have a great day tomorrow. See you later. Bye!